We've got Super Bowl we're going to talk about, but want to pass along some word that former New York Mayor Ed Koch has died early this morning. He was 88 years old, and Mike was telling us, because he's lived in New York, that the man was just beloved. I mean, he was a national figure, an icon. But hey, I think he always went up to people and said, "Hi, how am I doing?
How am I doing?" Right? He always asked for approval.
Always wanted his job. So anyway, Ed Koch died at 88 this morning. On to the Super Bowl now. Of course, it's a big weekend for the country. This is a holiday, as you know.
Yeah, really.
Beyonce got criticized for her the inauguration for not singing live.
Doing the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yesterday, she wanted to prove her doubters wrong and sang the national anthem. And man, she just was absolutely unbelievable.
Where was she?
Yesterday. This was in Louisiana.
Oh, just at a club or something?
I get a conference,
Probably at
I
a
guess.
Super Bowl press conference.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the last day that people are going to be available for the press, the players, the coaches, everything. So I guess Beyonce wanted to come out and prove her haters wrong, and man, she belted the national anthem.
Yeah, she sounds fantastic. It's really hard to sing when it's really cold.
That's right, because Claire, you do the national anthem.
I mean, like even I did it at the Polar Plunge, and I mean it was what 30, 40 degrees outside. Even that was really hard for me. You know, every time you take a big breath of air, it's freezing air goes in your lungs. That's really hard to
and
sing.
remember, Aretha Franklin did it at the first president inauguration of Mr. Obama, and it was like 2 degrees outside.
Exactly. I mean, she's I don't even compare to her. She's unbelievable. But like for Beyonce, I completely identify being cold in Washington D.C. I think it's silly that that people complained about her pre-recording.
And of course, the reason why she's there, she's doing the Super Bowl halftime show, where it's rumored that Destiny's Child is going to reunite. It's the
her old band that she started with.
The most watched musical event live every year, the Super Bowl halftime show.
Let's move on to a better Super Bowl.
Okay, well, I like this Super Bowl a little better. This is the Puppy Bowl is coming up this weekend on Animal Planet, and I just love this. These puppies are so cute. So they I guess they're having this is the Puppy Bowl IX, the Puppy Bowl 9. And it's an annual, canine competition, and it's become a little tradition, I suppose. But look at all these little ones. So these are puppies from animal shelters now, from across the country, and they come to the Geico Stadium, and it's 3 o'clock Eastern time, which is going to be what is that, noon our time? So noon to 2. I know, that's very cute. And hedgehogs. Yeah, very interesting. But they're the cheerleaders. Did you hear that? The hamsters and hedgehogs are cheerleaders.
Oh,
yes, very cute. So I guess there's no clear winner in the contest for most valuable puppy, but it should be a lot of fun.
Well, we have a clear winner of the Super Bowl, according to Ozzy. He's a grizzly bear at the zoo in Montana.
Oh no.
He picks the Ravens. He's 400 pounds, and apparently he had his choice between 2 banana pies. One marked for the 49ers and the other marked for the Ravens.
Oh, look at that. Close call, looked like, too.
Here's the odd link to this. Ozzie Newsome, the general manager of the Baltimore Ravens. So the bear shares the same name as the general manager of the Ravens.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, thank you. All the vibes.
There you are.
Pretty cool.
How do you top that?
Do you guys know who you're rooting for? In the Super Bowl?
Today is the day.
I'm going for the Seahawks.
You're still rooting for the Seahawks.
Some miraculous comeback somehow.
Oh, yes, so funny.
Well,
we'll see.
But anyway.
Guess we'll have to watch it. There you go.
Let's take a break, and then we'll get back to business and look at today's top stories.
Here's a check outside from our McDonald's Tower Cam with a morning view of the Yakima Valley.
covering what's new, now, and next. This is NBC Right Now, local news today.
It is 5:30 in the morning. Good morning. Thanks for joining us. NBC Right Now, local news today. I'm Kevin Schaub.
Good morning. I'm Claire Graham. It's Friday, February 1st. The rent's due. Let's talk to Mike Linden. Hopefully some good weather on the starting us off in February.
Yeah, I got some tweets this morning asking how can we go from 55 degrees to now below freezing, and that's because of the lack of the Chinook winds that have pushed out of the region, and looks like we'll be headed back to normal as temperatures have sunk big time. The Tri-Cities and Hermiston down by 15-16 degrees. Ellensburg and Yakima nearly 10 degrees off from where we were yesterday, as this morning we settle in right around freezing. The Tri-Cities just below it at 29 degrees. Walla Walla leading the pack though at 44 early on. Most spots today will get back to the mid to high 40s today. Still a little warmer than normal, but cooler than yesterday. And coming up in just a few minutes, I'll have your Groundhog Day and Super Bowl forecast.
No word this morning yet on the condition of the pilot of an Alaska Airlines flight to Seattle. The airline says the pilot passed out last night during the flight from LA to SeaTac. The other pilot in the cockpit diverted the flight 473 to Portland, where it landed safely, and paramedics took the pilot, a 28-year veteran of Alaska Airlines, to the hospital. The flight had 116 passengers aboard. Everybody okay. Boeing is now looking at the battery charger from that Dreamliner that made an emergency landing earlier this month. The National Transportation Safety Board is trying to determine why the battery overheated. The problem has led to Boeing grounding the fleet of the 787.
In education news this morning, lawmakers are introducing a new set of education standards for students nationwide. Starting in the 2014 and 2015 school year, students in 46 states, including Washington and Oregon, will have the same learning standards for math, reading, writing, and spelling. Now, the new concept, called the Common Core, replaces the No Child Left Behind Act, which allowed each state to set its own learning standards. And if you have a child planning to go to college, you might want to consider financial options other than the Guaranteed Education Tuition Program. Some Republican lawmakers say they want to scrap Washington's GET program because the cost of tuition has more than doubled in the last 4 years. Program directors say this could be the worst year for parents to buy prepaid tuition credits, as the program was more than $600 million short in 2012. And while traditional colleges are getting more expensive, several students and schools are turning to learning online. Programs like the Washington-based Coursera offer free tools that allow students to take college-level classes in physics, English, astronomy, and guitar from professors at major universities.
Coursera has grown much faster than any of us were expecting. We reached our first 1 million users faster than Facebook.
The founder of Coursera says classes that were usually open to about 100 students are now available to 42,000 people around the world.
The general manager of a Kennewick nightclub faces up to 5 years in prison. A Benton County jury convicted 41-year-old Matthew Hibbert of third-degree aggravated assault. The panel took less than an hour yesterday to reach its verdict. Prosecutors say Hibbert used excessive force against Ben Ensign, who suffered skull fractures in the confrontation with Hibbert outside Jack Diddley's. Ensign's mother, Sheila Baracello, says her son has suffered brain damage.
You know, the whole thing is so tragic all the way around. Tragic. But again, justice has to be done, and we need to get laws into place to prevent this from happening again.
Baracello says she feels for the Hibbert family, but says the conviction reaffirms her belief in the justice system. The judge will sentence Hibbert later this month. The former Franklin County Public Works county manager faces up to 25 years in prison now. Dennis Houston changed his plea to avoid trial in March. As part of the plea agreement, the Assistant Attorney General wants Houston to pay back the nearly $3 million he embezzled from taxpayers over the past 20 years. But Scott Marlowe says he's seen Houston's bank accounts and the money just isn't there. Marlowe says in exchange for Houston's guilty plea, he will recommend a 15-year prison sentence. Houston's attorney says given Houston's age, any significant prison term will be considered a death sentence. Houston is 65.
A man from Yakima is facing first-degree murder charges after police say he was involved in a double homicide last month. Yakima police say 41-year-old Troy Whalen helped to dump the bodies of 35-year-old Ryan Peterson and 37-year-old Michael Eby in a car in the Yakima River Canyon. Now, officers say the two men died of gunshot wounds, but they don't believe Whalen shot them. A judge has set Whalen's bail at $2 million. Police are still looking for the shooter. In a health alert this morning, Tri-Cities Community Health wants to help you get heart healthy this month. Today through the end of February, Community Health is offering daily nutritional and exercise tips to keep your ticker healthy. One great way to start, take your pets for more walks. Doctors say it gets you moving and it relieves stress, which can bring on health problems or bad habits.
I think in general people don't like exercising, but there are activities that you can do around the house, activities that you can do with pets, where you're actually doing some exercising.
To check out the Tri-Cities Community Health's daily Heart Healthy blog, just head to our website, NBCRightNow.com, and click on news links.
Second Harvest in the Tri-Cities says it needs more volunteers. Second Harvest last fall opened its new warehouse in Pasco. It can hold a lot more food, so Second Harvest says it needs a lot more people to help sort it all out. The volunteer coordinator says she's looking for people who could pitch in during the morning hours. If you're interested, go to NBCRightNow.com, click on news links. A reminder, if you're planning to drive through the Yakima River Canyon on Saturday, you may want to consider a different route. The Eaton family will take 300 cattle through the canyon. The traditional winter cattle drive to Mount Baldy Ranch will slow down traffic from noon until 3 Saturday afternoon. It'll start at Burbank Creek Road and continue 5 miles up the canyon to Mount Baldy Ranch.
Very cool.
We'll take a break and then Mike will be here with the weather.
Here's a check outside this morning from our Costas Carpet Tower cam with a view of the Tri-Cities.
Welcome to the start of February, or rather welcome back to the winter, as the past couple of days have really felt like a beautiful spring afternoon with temperatures in the mid to high 50s, low 60s. But today already we're seeing temperatures adjusting back to where we should be, right around freezing. 33 in Yakima, 29 in the Tri-Cities. So here are our headlines for the day. To lead us into the weekend, we'll be dealing with scattered cloud cover. And what I mean by that is, for some spots today, you may see some clouds, but for some spots, you may not see anything. If you do see any clouds, there really won't be many of them. It should be a partly cloudy, mostly sunny kind of day today, as high pressure is building off the coastline right now of Northern California as well as Oregon, which should keep us dry through much of the weekend. We will see cloud cover, but it doesn't look like we should be seeing much out of that cloud cover. So here's a look at what we're dealing with already this morning for the past few hours. No precipitation throughout the region, but you can see those breaks in the clouds, right? That's what we'll be dealing with today, a very broken sky. So we get to see some sunshine into the afternoon. Now, temperatures this morning have slid back down significantly, especially so for the Tri-Cities and Hermiston, down by 15, 16 degrees from where we were yesterday. This 24-hour temperature change is certainly common and is expected when Chinook winds make their way over the Cascade Mountains. But that warm air masses, those are gone as temperatures slide back to where we should be this time of year. Now, to put it into perspective, yesterday, Seattle, Portland, that's what we felt like yesterday, the mid-40s. But now that the Chinook winds are gone out of the region, we're back to where we should be, 33-29 for the Tri-City. So a much calmer and colder day today, as the winds aren't going to be very strong, as there's no Chinook winds coming off the Cascades today. Now here's that high pressure ridge I was talking about that will work its way up the coastline, forcing this cloud cover, at least the moisture-filled cloud cover, to the north into British Columbia. So we'll see some cloud cover this weekend, but it doesn't look like we'll see much out of those clouds, nor today, nor over the weekend. So temperatures today will slide out of the 50s. It should still be a nice day, though, with temperatures in the mid to high 40s, 46 in the Tri-Cities, 47 in Yakima. Now, Groundhog Day is tomorrow, and if Puxatawny Phil sees his shadow, he's going to jump right back down to the hole, go right back, and that means 6 more weeks of winter. But the forecast for Puxatawny, Pennsylvania is expected to be cloudy with plenty of snowfall, actually. So if he doesn't see his shadow, that means spring is on the way. So the day that we felt yesterday could be arriving a little earlier than expected. Now, temperatures for this upcoming weekend should be right around normal in the lower 40s for Super Bowl Sunday, improving just a bit into the work week next week as we warm up back to the mid 40s, but otherwise doesn't look like we'll see much precipitation today nor through the weekend.
All right, well, that sounds pretty good. I know I saw a little bit of rain yesterday in spots.
Just to mess up the windshield.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Turn on your what do you call it, your windshield wipers for just a minute there. All right, well, it's birthday time here at NBC right now, brought to you by Dairy Queen. Carter turns 1 today. He loves Elmo, swinging, and beating on Grandpa's drum. Happy birthday with love from Grandma, Grandpa, Mom, Dad, and brother Brandon.
Haley turns 18 today. She's a senior at Wah High and is also taking classes at Walla Walla Community College and working part-time. Busy girl. Happy birthday from Brandon and all your family.
Lauren turns 24 today. Happy birthday wishes from Ryan, Madison, Jessica, and all your family and friends.
Bill turns 50 plus today. He likes going to the beach, cooking, and spending time with family. Happy birthday from your wife, Linda, mother-in-law, kids, grandkids, and sisters.
Brianna turns 15 on Saturday. She's a freshman at Kamaikan High. She likes volleyball and can't wait to get her driver's permit. Happy birthday from Dad, Mom, and big sister Taylor.
Now it is Shelly D. from Burbank. She turns 40 tomorrow. You look great for 40. Happy birthday with love from all your family. I'm sure she looks good.
Yeah, there you go. Raya turns 1 on Saturday. Happy first birthday wishes with love from Mom, Dad, all your family and friends.
Stylish 1-year-old. Alexia turns 10 on Sunday. She's a 4th grader at Christ the King in Richland and likes to play on the DS, stuffed animals, and listening to Big Time Rush. Happy birthday, Lexi, from Grandma, Poppy, Jimmy, and Mom.
And Jalen turns sweet 16 on Sunday. She goes to Prosser High School. She raises sheep for local fairs and is very involved in the FFA. Happy birthday wishes and love from Mom, Dad, Cord, Grandma, Grandpa, Heath, and Susan.
Autumn turns 1 on Sunday. Happy first birthday with love from Mommy, Daddy, and Nana and Papa, Grammy and Grandpa, and all your great-grandparents, aunts, and uncles.
$1 million smile there. So if you'd like to celebrate with us, just send us a photo, your information, and a self-addressed stamped envelope to NBC Right Now Birthdays to 3312 West Kennewick Avenue in Kennewick, the zip 99336, and get us that birthday information at least 2 weeks in advance.
And birthdays are also on our website, NBCRightNow.com.
And all of our birthdays each week are entered to win a prize from Dairy Queen.
And to anybody else celebrating a birthday today or over the weekend, make it a good one.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
All right, well, after the break, as you know, Super Bowl is maybe the one TV event where you don't tune out during the commercials.
We'll give you a little sneak peek of some of the ads that you will see on Sunday right after the break.
Could be. Go 12 minutes before 6 o'clock. Welcome back to NBC Right Now Local News Today. As you know, the Super Bowl may be the one TV event where you don't tune out during the commercials.
Yeah, advertisers are hoping to create a buzz this Sunday. Jay Gray has a closer look at what to expect when the football players take a break.
From the classics to the crazy, commercials have become as much a part of Super Sunday as the actual game. Big business, big bucks, and a big gamble for first-time advertisers like Axe.
It is very expensive. For each set of eyeballs that you're paying for, you better have something worthwhile to say, or you're wasting your money.
A lot of money, $4 million for a 30-second spot. PepsiCo, a longtime player in the Super Bowl ad game this year, is going all in.
We're activating 4 brands and 3 of them directly onto the field on game day with Quaker, Gatorade, and the Super Bowl halftime show with Pepsi.
Funny, racy, raucous, advertisers will try just about anything to create a Super Bowl buzz.
You've got to stand out in some fashion. If you don't, you sort of get ignored.
Mark Freiberger hopes he'll get noticed in New Orleans. The aspiring director created this spot and is one of 5 finalists in the Doritos Super Bowl ad competition. The winner will be revealed when their commercial is aired during the game.
I'll know when the rest of America knows.
And if he makes the cut, Freiberger says it will be pretty neat to see his homemade commercial in the mix with others that cost millions to make.
This really is a very homegrown ad. It only cost us $300 to make, which included the renting the dresses and buying the Doritos.
An investment he hopes will pay off with a win on Super Sunday.
If you can't wait to see what will air on Sunday, sneak peeks of many of the Super Bowl ads have already been released online. Jay Gray, NBC News, New Orleans.
So the Chinook winds have come and gone, and now a high-pressure ridge is getting set to provide us with a dry Friday as we head into the upcoming weekend. Take a look at our Pacific satellite. You can see that ridge of high pressure right now over the coastline of Northern California, Oregon. But there are incoming clouds, but the moisture-filled clouds will get pushed into Canada, whereas we'll see clouds, but really not much precipitation. You can really see, though, this morning how we don't resemble Seattle, Portland like we did yesterday because of those Chinook winds. So this morning we're back to normal. As we head into the afternoon, we should get just above it once again today thanks to some additional sunshine. Temperatures this afternoon in the mid-40s throughout much of the region.
We'll have the top stories this morning right after a break.
But first, our Facebook friend of the day is Kyle Pierce. What a cute puppy there, Kyle. Thanks to Kyle and thanks to all our Facebook family out there today. Here now are your top stories at this hour.
The general manager of a Kennewick nightclub now faces up to 5 years in prison. A Benton County jury yesterday convicted 41-year-old Matthew Hibbert of third-degree aggravated assault. It took the jurors less than an hour to reach its verdict. Prosecutors say Hibbert used excessive force against Ben Ensign, who suffered skull fractures in the confrontation with Hibbert outside of Jack Diddley's. The judge will sentence Hibbert later this month.
The former Franklin County Public Works accounting manager faces up to 25 years in prison. Dennis Houston changed his plea to avoid trial in March as part of the plea agreement. The Assistant Attorney General Scott Marlowe wants Houston to pay back the nearly $3 million he embezzled from taxpayers over 20 years. Now, Marlowe says he's seen Houston's bank account, though, and the money just isn't there. He says he recommends a 15-year sentence.
A man from Yakima is behind bars. He's accused of being involved with the murder of 2 men last month. Police say 41-year-old Troy Whalen was involved somehow in the deaths of 35-year-old Ryan Peterson and 37-year-old Michael Eby. According to prosecutors, the man helped dump the bodies in the car in a canyon in the Yakima River Canyon. Police say they don't believe Whalen was the shooter, and they're still looking for another person. Whalen faces 2 counts of first-degree murder. The judge set his bail at $2 million.
Tri-Cities Community Health wants to help you get heart healthy this month. Today through the end of February, Community Health is offering free daily nutritional and exercise tips to keep your ticker healthy. One great way to start: take your pets for walks. Doctors say it gets you moving and helps relieve stress, which can bring on health problems and bad habits.
And a reminder, if you or someone you know isn't registered to vote yet, Monday, February 4th is the last chance for new voters to register for the special election. Eligible voters must register at their local county auditor's office for the election, which is coming up on the 12th of February.
Second Harvest in the Tri-Cities says it needs more volunteers. Second Harvest last fall opened its new warehouse in Pasco. It can hold a lot more food, so Second Harvest says it needs a lot more people to help sort it all. The volunteer coordinator says she's looking for people who can pitch in during the morning hours. If you're interested, just head to our website, NBCRightNow.com, and click on news links.
And let's look at your weather on this Friday morning. It's calm and clear right now.
Yeah, conditions have returned to normal as to where we would want to be for this time of year. Calm and cool, and temperatures are reacting to that as well, sliding back this afternoon to the mid-40s throughout much of the region. We'll see varying cloud cover as high pressure continues to build over the region, which should keep us dry through much of the weekend outside of some foggy mornings over the course of the weekend. But it's really is a holiday weekend for Americans, I would say, with the Super Bowl on Sunday, and then we have Groundhog's Day tomorrow. So Puxatawney Phil expected to not see his shadow, which means that spring could be right around the corner.
I must say I might be a little bit more excited for Groundhog's Day than the Super Bowl. I like watching little man pop up out